After 6,000 hours in Rimworld, just how do you keep things fresh? Maybe you could remove mining, farming, research, and even base building, but no, that's not possible, you say. You're a madman, I hear you all cry. Well, let me introduce you to my magnum opus. 5 days of preparation and crafting and polish. RPG Adventures. Name pending. This is a mod pack all about medieval fantasy adventures and questing, living a nomadic lifestyle and exploring a fully custom planet while getting treasure, defeating mighty foes, and writing a story worthy of legend. And when I say fully custom planet, I mean fully custom planet. Every leader, every faction, every ideology, the relations, the politics, the people, their very genes, every settlement and every road, hand-placed. Our adventure begins in a cozy little inn. Our home, the place that will bring all of our treasure and rest up in between long adventure sessions. Now, even though resources are rare, far rarer than any other Rimworld planet we've ever had, we can still earn them through quests and bring them back here to make new equipment. This not only makes our armor, our weapons, and our tools more valuable than ever before, but it means that quests offering resources or rare weapons and armor is something really, truly worth adventuring out there for. Our goal is to reunite the 4 lost artifacts of the Grignr clan: Lightning Invoker, the Legate Slayer, the Infinity Gavel, and Grignr, the Ring of Grignr. I've done this about 5 times now, and every single time that gets me. That's the stupidest thing I've ever written. 3 of our party members will be heading out there for glory and wealth. Firstly, we have the barbarian warrior Grignr Grignerson, a powerhouse of a man who hits like a wrecking ball, but hasn't got much going on upstairs. A natural leader, warrior, and unnaturally stupid. Secondly, we have our druid, the enormous bug Rita, who, thanks to her size and lack of ability to die, has never had any problems in life and still holds on to that childlike wonder, caring for all things living. And finally, we have the party bard, Phil the Brain Eater. Phil lures you in with his dulcet tones and charming tentacles before eating your brains. But don't panic, he only does it to lawbreakers and bandits. The only part of innocent people that he devours is their hearts. Metaphorically. He's a good guy. Phil's a good fella. And then there's Bones, innkeeper and artificer, who will be running the homestead, keeping everything going behind the scenes while the party is out adventuring. But Bones, being a master crafter, will still make her an invaluable member of the team, even when she's not around. And of course, as always, if you'd like to play along and explore this RPG mod pack in an RPG world, all of that is available down in the description. If you stay tuned to the end as well, I'll do a little bit where I talk about how you can customize it, start with different characters, and maybe change the world to something a bit more D&D heavy. I don't know anything about D&D. I don't know why I did a D&D themed mod pack in hindsight. Now, before we dive in, let's see if I can very quickly go over all the other important stuff you need to know for our little adventure. Now, I went into this mod pack with the idea of how can I force myself to play very differently, so the whole caravan ties into that, but I've also built us a very lovely base preemptively. There's kind of 4 sections to this base, and they all have a very good reason for being here. The tavern itself will attract new guests, new trade caravans who will bring with them actual resources for us to try and use and to trade with, and they will also bring quests too, which is going to be super important. To the west-hand side of the tavern, we have the hotel, where we can have guests join us. We could charge the guests in exchange for silver that we can then use to buy more quests, but mainly, this is here to try and get us some new recruits. Other parties might want to join our adventures, and eventually, I'd love to have it so we had multiple parties out there caravanning at the same time, doing little quests and turning it into a proper little guild. And through the garden behind the tavern, we have a crafting room and resource room apparently filled with people. Okay. I don't know why they're there. But this will allow us to bring back all those resources, all those quest rewards, and anything else we might stumble along with the caravan that we want to bring back with us to turn into brand new gear and items. And then finally, nestled away in the mountains, we have a treasure vault, which is currently filled with absolutely nothing. It's got our 4 reliquaries for our artifacts to reclaim. But this will be where we put all of our, say, fancy items that we find on journeys, artifacts, relics, or maybe put items that become significant. If we have a sword that's just about to break, but it's been with us through thick and thin, we might want to put it on display in our base's vault. Our people are idiots who know absolutely nothing, both in terms of research and their RPG stats. Research this time is going to be completely different. And what I mean by the fact that they know nothing is that they know nothing. every single thing is tech printed. You can't just sit at a table and suddenly realize, oh yeah, that is how you build a ballista. We need to go out there into the world and either find tech prints through doing quests or find tech prints through trading with factions and seeing what they can offer us, seeing what technology they have that we can learn from. Then in terms of our people stats, we do have RPG style levels for them. All of them are starting at level 0, none of them have any XP, and none of them have any stats to put any points into. Our people are also fairly unique. They're not just a bunch of baseliners. I think that's, honestly, I think that's kind of obvious from looking at them. Grignr, for example, is a member of the very prestigious Grignr Xenotype. They are very tough to kill. They hit very hard. They're basically unstoppable, but they're also idiots. They are completely dense upstairs. Phil is half Brain Eater. His mother was a Brain Eater and his father was very, very brave. Phil has the power to devour brains and get skills from their highest skill, or the highest skill of the brain that he devours. He has the power to instill insanities in our enemies, turning them berserk. He also has the power to make someone's mind unstable, which is actually a buff, increases psychic sensitivity at the cost of them going a little insane. He also has, thanks to his mighty mental prowess, the ultimate mental ability. The ability to resist eating at a table. The trade-off for Phil is he is a very brittle boy. He has frail skin, poor melee damage, and brittle bones. You can also summon a goose, because I thought, what kind of fearsome-looking creature can go along with such a fearsome-looking guy, more so than a goose? Then we have Rita the... Hello? Then we have Rita the Mystery Bug, found as a child by Grignr. She is deathless, ageless, seemingly psychically gifted like no other. Some of her skills aren't so good, but she is very, very powerful. She's also deathly afraid of fire. Then there's Bones. Poor, sweet, very normal, very basic Bones. Bones and Rita are actual, literal, biological sisters. It's very confusing. Now, both Rita and Phil are capable of Psycasting because of their genes, but neither of them have any Psycasting abilities because, again, they're starting at level 1. They've got totally nothing. But what our people do have are the clothes on their back, and I promise, despite looking otherwise, I promise YouTube censors, Grignr is wearing a pair of very fetching lizard skin trousers. Rita has a very fancy gold necklace that she can't do anything with yet, but it does have an L-Tex jewel, which eventually might allow her to tap into some extra psychic potential. She has a quilted... Oh, God. These are semi-random. She apparently has a human leather quilted vest. We'll pretend we don't know about that. She's got a lovely shirt and some trousers, and Phil has a jester outfit, some fetching boots, and an L-Tex sword. We have no idea where those relics are. We have nothing to start ourselves off, but very, very conveniently, there is a character right there willing to offer us a quest. For the low, low price of 200 silver, traders, caravan settlements can offer us a bunch of quests to get all that experience to help level up our characters. Do we want to go for the item stash or the bandit camp? Now, given that this is our first quest, which I think we should enjoy this moment, because this is the beginning of a great adventure, I think I also want something easy. I think we're going to go for the item stash and hope that we get something great from this. PQUNA writes down the specifics of this quest. She informs Grignr of how to get started, and get started is exactly what we need to do here. Hilarious's stash of valuables. Whoa! Hilarious Senator of the Western Republic has informed us of a collection of valuable items. The items themselves are worth 880, the quest cost is 200, so there's a chance for some pretty great profit here. There are, however, 3 man-hunting goats. Finally a challenge worthy of Grignr. You know, in hindsight, I'm not really sure this is the legendary quest that I wanted, but how many adventures start with some mad treasure hunt to kick things off? We've got to get a bit of experience, damn it. Fell Great Bow would be amazing, because Rita currently doesn't have a weapon. All we've got is the steel battle axe and the L-Tex sword that Phil has. Question is, where is it out there in the world? Is it worth traveling all that way? Actually, that's pretty good. Well, let's get out there. We've got a quest squad. Let's not hang around. Let's just pack the caravan and go straight for it, I suppose. So we are going to send Grignr, Phil, Rita. Bones the Artificer will be staying behind at the base to keep things running while we're gone. And then we'll take whatever food we've got, I suppose. I think we've just got bread to start things off. Then we'll also have our people pack their tents too. One of them is a legendary Viking tent. That's really cool. 0.6 days to get there, 1.8 days of food. Let's get to it. Of course, one of our really big, important early technology to try and find out there in the world somewhere will be some sort of long-term meal, right? Packaged survivor meals or something like that would be incredible. But we can always stop off at nearby settlements and buy food off of them, make sure we've always got something to trade. And if we haven't got anything, we can sell them something that we've got from quests. Maybe hunt some animals, set up camp, hunt some animals, and sell the leathers to them. And there they go. The first ever quest brings a tear to your eye. Now imagine this, but we have like multiple parties out there in the world all heading out for our little guild. That would be amazing, since some people are caravanning over, the other people can be doing something, maybe in combat, while we're waiting for the others to set up camp and stand by for a little while. Now, given that we're very nomadic and very travel heavy, we do have the ability to set up a camp, which is a very temporary thing meant for reorganizing the caravan. We can settle the caravan, which is more of a long-term thing, but they don't unpack. We can then settle with a camp, at which point they will unpack. That's something if we wanted to, say, set up before we go on a big quest somewhere, something we might want to prepare for a little while, get some food going or some potions ready. And then finally, we can actually travel at nighttime, but that will come with a much bigger risk of our caravan coming under attack. While our people are traveling, Bones is going to be running the inn. She is set to try and form friendships with people. And eventually we may get some new recruits, especially if we get factions visiting repeatedly. And we might also want to keep an eye on specific guests too, see if they are actually worth recruiting. When we make enough friends, we can try and bring them on board. Might want to keep an eye on characters with particularly high shooting or combat skills, for example. I think I might also put the price of the beds up to like, we could put it up to like maybe 10 silver a bed. Yeah, that's an alright idea. I mean, that way, in theory, the inn might earn enough money passively to allow us to buy quests whenever the trade caravans come through. What the hell are those things? Oh, Flump. Hello. One of the few nice aliens on the rim. Flumps are intelligent jellyfish-like creatures. Body's a dish-shaped bell with two large eye stalks. Wow. Hello. And I love how busy the inn is, too. I wish I had something to sell them. That is, of course, a mechanic where eventually, I mean, Bones wants to sit around brewing alcohol. We can do that. And we can eventually try and sell them some things to help keep the money coming in. We could sell them trinkets for our adventures. I'm sure we'll come across a lot of stuff that we just won't want. Like, we might not even want the spear from this quest we're on currently. Oh, hello. Okay, this might not be too useful right now because we haven't got anything to trade with them. But Phil's caravan has met peacefully with a caravan from the Stoneborn Halls, all the way down on this side of the globe. They're not too far away. Through mercenary... Yeah, I don't think we'll be going for that. Oh, here we go. Good luck, people. I think we're probably going to be fine against the 3 goats, but it couldn't hurt to be a little more cautious. What have we got going on then? There are the 3 goats. What the hell is that? Death Stingers. Well, that doesn't sound very fun at all. Here we go, our first encounter. Grignr, I think you could probably deal with this by yourself. We should get Phil to give Rita the sword temporarily. Even though it will help out with his psychic powers eventually, Rita has some pretty good... Oh god, get out of there. Pretty good combat prowess. She actually hits much harder with melee on account of her being enormous. Yes. Look at him go. Or perhaps I should say, look at him goat. Amazing work. Area is now safe. I'm not sure about that one, Chief. I don't like the sound of the word Death Stinger, I'll be honest with you. Oh, little dragon, look at that. Rita's already bleeding out. I mean, Rita, okay, you can go self-tend. We need to try and find some... we need to try and find some medicine for next time, huh? Be nice, some long-term provisions. Here we go. Treasure is to be had, Grignr. Oh, what does this do then? Fell Great Bow. It is a legendary Great Bow. Great Bows aren't very good, but what is this enchantment? A mythical artifact, you say? Oh, it's an epic quality one. That's cool. It's higher market value, much lower aiming time. Oh, shit. Well, that's like the big problem with great bows. Higher hit points, that is for the weapon itself. 10% mental break threshold. Oh, that's not bad. And then to top it all off, we have a spear called Torture. That's good. You know what, Phil? You can have that one. And then I think Rita will give the great bow, because she's actually got pretty good shooting stats. Did dumb labor? What do you mean, did dumb labor? What, like you packed the caravan? Well, that doesn't seem right. It certainly wouldn't be self-tending, I presume. Oh, turns out you actually had some medicine in your pocket. Oh, that's good. It's very convenient. Thank you. I mean, hey, I'll take it. It wasn't exactly the big explosive quest I was after, but that seems like a pretty nice start. We got a couple of things to sell, right? 5 medicine. Okay, maybe we should save that medicine next time for, you know, life-threatening injuries and not goat bites. We could go back to the questing guild, or we could come down to Florenzi and trade with them. See if they've got anything for us. In fact, I think we can visit and ask if they've got any quests. So the settlements near us are a bunch of different trading factions. We've got Rennis, we've got Florenzi, we've got Pisa, and we've got Naples. All of them are... They all have kind of different opinions of us. Some are very hostile. Some are extremely hostile. And then some are fairly neutral. In fact, we don't have many allies at all right now. To be fair, we're just a bunch of ragtag people going around taking treasure from places. As far as they're concerned, we are basically bandits. But eventually, when we start completing quest after quest after quest, we'll win these people over. They'll be friendly with us in no time, I think. Whoa! Hey, we had some visitors from the Republic. Elven Pazurkarang? And then a bronze warfork. What is that? Stuff that I probably don't want to keep and we might just sell. Maybe we should set up a trading area over here then. Put all the spare stuff that we don't want, just like in these boxes. That'll be a bad idea. Just say any weapons and apparel that were gifted, let's throw in these boxes, and then we can set that to be the shopping area. Rename that one to shopping, and that way any trinkets or any crap we get given just from our regular adventures, we can try and sell to our people. I think we say our shopping area is in fact shopping. That's absolutely fine. Hello, friends. We're desperate for a quest. I mean, yes, we're new and trying to find our way in the world, but you can trust us, I promise. Let's see what they've got for us. Trade, attack. I don't really want to attack. You got anything for sale that we could do something with? Ooh, herbal medicine. Man, that'd be quite nice. Oh, the tech prints, look. Grimstone. Lumber. Oh, lumber could be good. We've got jewelry. We've got a smoker. That could also be quite nice. Farm props and artful displays. Man, that would be amazing for the vault. Okay, they've got some pretty cool stuff. What is our Shakalaka dance book? There you go. And these guys have some, because they were a traded faction, look, they've got some pretty good weapons and armor too. So if we finally get across some cash and we want to come and buy some basic gear to start us off, this actually might not be a bad start. As for the time being, we'll sadly go back to the base until we win over the trust of these other people, and then we can start taking a few more quests. Well, it's only a matter of time before we do get another quest. I mean, literally, that is how it works. Randomly, we should get given a quest once every 7 or so days. Pretty much once a week we can go out there. Ideally, we want more quests than that, given how fast we'll be able to do some of these early ones. Oh, the poor goose! You could be in mascot. Whoa, the goose has a level. The goose is level 5? That's better than all of my party members. The goddamn goose should be out there. Oh, Bones is level 5. She's getting XP, though, from doing jobs around the base. That's amazing. Come on, Wild Goose. Let's get you patched up. We really need those tech prints. We barely have anything. We've got the very, very basics, and that's it. But to be fair, Bones is just a humble innkeeper. She doesn't know how to furnish her house with royal bedding. What I do know is I want this goose as colony mascot. Cleaning trash. That trash has a name. Oh my god, it Shit. Well, I've decided against the goose mascot for some reason. God damn it. Strongest character we're probably going to see for a while. Dead on the butcher's block. How unfortunate. Home sweet home, at least temporarily, but I've realized I'm a fool. I'm a complete idiot. That fell longbow we found might sound good on the surface. Sure, it gives us, what, a minus 25% aiming time? Significantly faster than regular bow. But 10% mental break threshold is terrible. We just paid 200 silver for a magic longbow that also drives you insane. Oh, that's pretty good. That's a pretty fun weapon, I think, to find immediately. I'm happy with that. Fantastic timing on a group of visitors. A group from House King, specifically. Hello there. You've got a quest for me. Oh, amazing timing. Grignr, claim this quest. Hang on, do we have enough money to... Shit. We have a slight problem. Check for quests that we can't afford. Can we just get, like, a free one? Like, on the house? 200 total. God damn it. Oh, she's also a trader. Oh, hang on. We might be able to sell one of those weapons that we picked up. Yes. Oh, it's not enough. If we sell the goose hide and the goat hide, that takes us up to just slightly short of being able to afford a quest. You know what? Take a medicine. I'm not happy about it, but take the medicine. Oh, you can't afford... You haven't got any money? What sort of trader are you? Now they're stuck doing boring guild work instead of being out there in the world adventuring. Yeah, I'm sure it's the gestures she was amazed by, Grignr. Not that a mostly naked man with a bear on his head made gestures towards her. There's very fancy glowing rocks everywhere. Calcite. Crystalline growth imbued with the world's magic. Has many uses, of which we probably don't know yet because we haven't got any bloody tech prints. Ooh, Phil thinks we should give the settlement a name. Phil's asleep. I guess he's communicating it with his tentacle mind powers. Well, Phil, I think we should call it, I mean, something generic like the Cozy Inn, the Quiet Inn, Grignr Inn, something like that could work quite well. Questing Guild? Just gonna call it Party City. And then if anybody has a better name, I'm going to steal that from the comments, and then I'll pass it off as my own idea. Did we get much experience from our goat quest? Probably not. Level 5, level 6, wow. Phil got nothing, Grignr went up 6 levels, Rita went up 5, and Bones have some levels just from casual work. Now, I have nerfed this right now because this level up mod does get pretty crazy with the stats. You can get up to, like, level 100 pretty quickly. So that we'll consider that them completing the tutorial for now. Maybe I can tweak it down a little bit further. So, we've got Strength, which, I mean, these are all fairly straightforward, right? Strength increases melee damage, carry weight, hard work. Dexterity is melee and ranged accuracy and delicate work. Agility, movement speed, melee evasion rate, and aiming speed. Constitution, damage reduction, immunity gain speed, and some simple artwork. Then int, intelligence, knowledge like medical care. Oh, that's good. And then charisma is animal and social activity. So I guess Bones the Artificer really should be getting a lot of stuff in dexterity. Let's put like a couple of points in dexterity and then a couple of points maybe in intelligence for Bones. How many points you got left? You got 2 more to spend. Let's put those in dexterity. Grignr the Barbarian, I'm not going to lie to you. We're probably going to go like majority strength and then a little bit constitution. Grignr doesn't need agility. Grignr's happy to get hit in his big, strong muscles. Now, Phil the Bard didn't actually contribute at all during that last raid, so got nothing, but he does have a point to spend. He dropped his weapon and cowered behind Rita, the ginormous bug. I think the Bard should get a little bit of charisma. Yeah, let's go for that. That's on brand, even though maybe we want to turn him into a more offensive Psycaster later on. Rita the Druid, I think obviously we need a little bit of... I think we need a little bit of medical care, don't we? This intelligence can do that. Let's throw a few points of that, and then you're also pretty good all round. I'm going to give you a little of agility, though. There we go. I think that's an alright start. Not bad for our starting tutorial quest where we skewered a goat. You know what? I think it genuinely might be easier this time to go back to the standard resource readout and just get rid of everything that isn't relevant. Because we don't have a standard base, right? Half of the stuff is not going to be used. So let's just keep the things that are relevant to our adventuring life. So a little bit of silver. Well, the logs are useful for refueling things. And then, of course, the food stocks. What have we got to work with? So we've got some hides. We don't know how to tan hides yet. That's not something we have the blueprints for. So I guess we can throw those into the sell boxes too, at least for the time being. Take them out later, maybe when we want to make some weapons and armor instead. How could I forget? The one series where it actually makes a lot more sense for these characters to become experts in a field is the one time I completely ignore it from the get-go. So Grignr Grignason, because he is a very powerful melee character, can learn either piercing, that increases armor penetration, or dueling, which reduces his melee cooldown. Oh, I like the idea, and I think it's much more on brand that a barbarian would hit so hard that it gets through armor. So I like that idea. Give him the piercing skill that you can start leveling up pretty early on. It is only Grignr that can do that for now. No one else has the skills quite yet, but eventually we'll get there, right? Bones especially is going to be amazing when we get up to 15 crafting. And a gift! They're amazed by our hospitality. Oh, good shit. 316 silver. Don't walk away. They're going to look, they're putting it in the stockpile. Oh, you know what? Instead, how about you give me a quest? That seems like a better trade. Oh, that's so nice. They paid so much for their little visit to the inn. I mean, it is a nice inn, to be fair. Should we go for a bandit camp? Something a bit more tough, something a bit more explosive. I like it. Tigress writes down the specifics of the quest, and that is a marauder encampment. Whoa. Grand Mac, head merchant of the Trader Alliance, has sent us a message. Imps based in a nearby camp have been raiding their caravans. It's controlled by imp bandits. There's a bandit camp at the site guarded by 3 imps. I'd hope so. Whoa. We could get someone called Dimitri. Again, maybe another party member. They've got a soothing orb. What is that? Gem holds a magical blessing. If broken, the blessing will be released on the map, giving everyone a calming stream of thoughts. That's quite nice. Or we can take goodwill with them. We're already allied with them. They're the Trader Alliance. They don't hate us. In fact, they probably like us quite a lot because we're bringing a lot of money. That one has value to it, though. And I really think that might be quite useful right now. Sorry, Dimitri. I want this orb to sell to people. Then I can ponder it instead. Where is this? Oh, that's really close. Wow. Mighty Grignr smash the bandits. Give me some bread. We haven't really got much bread left. Oh, God. I don't think we need to take 10 loaves of bread to kill some bandits. Hopefully the bandits have some bloody food that we can take with us. And maybe a little medicine. Shit, we haven't really got much of that either. This is going to be our hardest fight yet, team. We need to be well prepared. Onwards, party members. Onwards to victory. Finally, a fight worthy of Grignr. Greetings, bandits. It is I, Grignr. Oh, my God. They're actually quite well prepared. Oh, Lord. Well, I'm not going to rely on Phil too much. Oh, it's more of those goddamn death stingers. That is what they call, right? Yeah, no, let's avoid that. So these are a bunch of fire-breathing imps. We've got Phil, the Grignr. Stand down. We've got Phil, the very flimsy squid man. We've got Rita, the very flammable bug lady. And then we have naked Grignr. I couldn't think of a worse team to be trying to fight. Oh, God. To be trying to fight a bunch of fire-breathing goblins. What if Phil gets in there? Oh, shit. What if Phil gets in there and drives them mad? Mind of other people. His ability can be resisted by targets with low psychic sensitivity. Is it everyone around you? So you're saying don't press that button with Grignr right there. Understandable. Phil, I might need you to You know what, Phil? God damn it. Summon the goose. Summon the goose. No, the goose is fighting Rita! What the hell? What the hell was wrong with the goose? Goddamn goose. Oh, this is going so horribly wrong. Oh, the goose is on fire. Rita. Okay, let's get you into cover. And then let's get some... let's put this cursed bow to good use. Start shooting. Phil, get in there. Grignr, go the other way. This is going to be amazing. This is going to be amazing. If we can get enough distance... If we can get enough distance, Phil might be able to go... a little mad with his insanity tactic. Give Phil some cover. He's flimsy, flimsy little Phil. What is that you're doing there? You got some sort of magic. It's another mage. Grignr, get in there. Oh, shit. No, not Phil. Sweet, precious Phil. He just wants to eat your brains. Oh! Oh. I'll leave it to Grignr, I suppose. Phil, I'm going to have to ask you to get the hell out of the fire, fella. Yeah, Phil, like, get out the fire, though. Grignr, put out the fire on Phil. Tend Phil, rescue Phil. Phil doesn't need rescuing, he needs extinguishing. Is he fine? He's fine, he's fine, he's fine. I think the fire's out. Okay, squad. Let's get back. Let's get away from this enormous inferno we've started. And we'll see what treasure we've got, presume the whole thing doesn't burn down. You know, I think that went well. Ignore the fact 2 of our people are bleeding to death and we've burned down the forest. You're okay. You're okay. You got a throwing knife to the eye, which isn't ideal, I will admit. How are you looking? You're okay. The goose did more damage than the bandits. What the hell was that goose about? I mean, it was a goose. I don't know what I expected trying to tame such a beast. I'm going to swap over to just doctor care. We need to save that medicine for real emergencies. And I'm sorry, a throwing knife to the eye doesn't quite qualify, Phil. Oh, Rita. Rita, it's not going to hurt you, okay? The fire's going to go out. Grignr's defied or forgotten what he was doing. That's very Grignr. Shit. Well, Phil, I've got some bad news. That does mean that Grignr's going to have to try and tend you instead. Well, of all the pop-ups I expected from our first quest, a goose getting brain damaged, a Phil's pet goose becoming brain dead was not it. Wow. Raging? They spawn in angry? Oh, shit. Now, Grignr also has a summon. Grignr's summon, though, is a goddamn grizzly bear. So maybe we'll avoid using that unless it's really, really urgent. It will be hostile to any targets hostile to the caster. Why in God's green earth did it attack? Oh, Rita. Oh, please don't go near the hornet nest. The fire's out. Oh, 8.7% 10 quality from Grignr. For a man with 0.01 medical isn't bad. Oh, Rita. Well, you know what Phil can do? Phil can go and devour some imps. Does this work? Devour brains on... Oh, let's get a little closer. Devour brains on Fnath. All right, he's dead. Let's go and devour brains on the other imp. So this is like a loot box system, funnily enough. This obviously kills the target. Excellent. So we just eat you. And then you gain something from that. Devoured brain. Whoa. So you get an animal's buff that lasts for 2 days. Oh, that's cool. Does that also count as giving you food? Doesn't. 15%. Unbelievable. Well, let's hope these bandits had something to eat. Otherwise, our poor people are gonna... What the hell's a mechanoid? You can't have these. Sort of strange magical egg. 108 of them. How much are they worth? 10 each? My God, we're rich. I'm sure there's absolutely no downsides to selling these to all of the traveling people who come to our base. Okay, Rita's chilled out. It seems like those death... What are they called? It seems like the death stingers aren't actually as bad as I expected. They've neither stung us nor to death. What about you? What is this? That's a beehive. 153 pemmican! Oh, amazing. The bandits did have some food after all. Oh, that's good. I'll make sure I check every screen. I don't normally do that. Yeah, let's take this. Those we could sell. The apparel's tainted, so we don't really want that. What is that there? Cloth Simple Field Research Kit. It's worth nothing to us, but somebody might want to buy that, I suppose. Got some bodies, or we've got a whole bunch of mechanoid eggs. Wow. $200 a kilogram. That's amazing. What are these? Some sort of strange imbued ring. Okay, we'll take those and have a look when we get back. Well, that was an absolute success. That was a really good quest. I mean, if you ignore the fact we gave Phil's pet goose brain damage. Stop everything. What do you mean, new lovers? This caravan has been back for 30 seconds. Unless it was people on the caravan. It could be Grignr and Rita. It could be Phil and Grignr. Tell me your secrets. Who is it? It's Grignr and Bones. That's okay. You know what? That's A tier. I'm happy with that. That's a good combo. Canonically, this does make Buggo drink Grignr's father-in-law. Well, you don't have to worry about the specifics, okay? You don't have to worry about the whatever's going on. Oh, they're having such a good time. Oh, you know what? I'm happy with the outcome. That's so nice. I'm glad they're happy. Oh, the problem is they had these beds delivered ages ago. They don't know how to build beds. Build them a double bedroll. You know what? You just have to deal with it for now, okay? We'll worry about that later. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I had some more interesting quests pop up than this. We had sky shards. Oh. You leveled up. Oh, that's good. We had sky shards that our people can use to learn new skills. We had ancient relics drop down, like one really cool weapon rather than two fairly average ones. Had more challenging encounters. We had loot boxes and dice rather than, you know, the outcomes we've had now. But you know what? Them becoming lovers, that's better than anything I could have asked for. That's a good outcome. Not only do we have a visitor. Oh, I think you're just passing through. Hang on. Grignr, go check their quests. Oh! Sylnia! For God's sake, fine. We got rewarded conflict, though. Hello. Treasure chests. And we can get someone called Boris. How terribly cursed. I think I'm pretty happy to leave it there for today. I think that was a fantastic introduction, hopefully, to the ideas that I've got going on here. There was obviously loads of other things I just didn't have time to explain. I could have spent this whole episode explaining mechanics. We do have some other stuff like wealth independent progress mode. So instead of the difficulty of the game being based on the wealth that we have, it's going to be based on the amount of time that we're playing for. So things will get harder simply as time progresses. And there may be a point where the whole party gets wiped in a really difficult world, at which point we'll decide how we can carry on from there. But ideally, our people are going to get stronger, they're going to get better gear, and regardless of how much wealth we've got, the world should adapt to that. It should level up as we do, you know, like the weightlifting Draugrs in Skyrim. I'll do a deeper write-up on the Steam Workshop collection to give you an idea of some of the extra mechanics I've got going on. So if you are interested in a bit more of the behind-the-scenes stuff, take a look over there. If not, hopefully you enjoy the story, the adventure that we're about to go on. I think this is going to be, again, I think very much like nothing I've ever done before in the game. Stay tuned after the end credits and I'll tell you a little bit more about how you can customize things and make it your own. If you do want to play along, if you just want to download the mod pack and jump in, I'll show you how you can adjust the characters and kind of do your own thing with that. If you have any mod suggestions or things that you may think fit into the pack perfectly, anything for new adventures, of course, send them to me. Make sure you have a look at the workshop first, because I always say that, and then people always send me the mods that we already have. I'm fully open to suggestion on this one. I want to make this a unique experience. I want to put the mod pack first for a change, rather than focusing on like the narrative of the series. We're going to try and make this like a real unique playtime experience, similar to Generations. Is what I'm aiming for anyway. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, of course, as always, to the executive producer patrons who give me all this time that I have used, hopefully, in your opinion, fairly well to throw together a mod pack. I hope so, anyway. Thank you to Ian McComb, Shatner's Bassoon, Squiggly Line, Like and Lover, Electus J, C-Max Smirnoff, Samuel Burton, John Viral, Facundo Vasquez, Grayson Tagger, Jasmine K, Robert Del Rosario, Blackframe Castle, Leopold Multi, Nialanthotep, Zoe Meadows, Smack You, The Longhoff, Nidalan, Kent McCullough, Tiny Bagel, Pokemon Backer, Deets, Blafocus 666, John Carosella, and Altatine for their support today over at the executive producer tiers over on Patreon. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. I put up a video a couple of days ago now, kind of talking about some New Year plans, some big changes coming to the channel, I hope. I know I said that kind of last year, but I think we did some good things with the channel this year. I was a little skeptical, but I also had a lot going on this year. So next year, got some big plans, some big changes that are already basically underway, so that's going to happen. So take a look at that if you haven't already seen it. Thank you as well to Jack Ryan, Natalie Tyson, Dine Era, Geb, Alexander H, David Whitcomb, Doc Sargent, Rabbit Dead, Illuminatist, Buttflaps, Lem, Perfectly Innocent Wizard, Riddle, Anaphos, Jerodin, Planty, Avulka, Coco, Bossia, Miranda the Mighty, Gamerman7799, Ultima Dingulon, Zerbio, Hot Leaf Juice, Tia, Cameron, Jerry the Emperor, Chronic, Idiocy, O&M, The Angry Trapezoid, Koi, Gaffy, Garen Vajidov, Alex Wareham, Randomman9989, Jack A. Lope, and Brannick Root for their support as well over on Patreon. See you all tomorrow. For the rest of you, stick around if you want some help. So you've subscribed to the collection, set the load order up correctly, you've put the save in the right place, sorted the configs out, loaded into game, and this is what you are greeted with. Your 4 little colonists, and then you think to yourself, I don't want to play with these stinky characters. Who the hell are they anyway? Well, I'm going to show you how to customize the entire experience. Like I said, if you want more of a D&D experience, if you want to change some of the factions and things like that, I'll show you that too. First things first, we will, I'll show you how to make your own characters or customize the ones we've gotten. So I always have character editor enabled for every mod pack, and this, what I'm about to say, will apply to pretty much every mod pack as well, because all of the tools I use are in my core mod pack, my foundational mod pack. So this applies to every other series going forward. We've got the character editor, which I always have because it allows me to rename characters for the patrons. You can only do nicknames in base game Rimworld, but this of course allows you to do a little bit more customization. So what you want to do with this is, if you want to add a new character, it might be like this screen by default. To add new characters, you can press this extended functions button. That will allow you to straight up create a new character. As you can see there, that'll add a random pawn and it will spawn them into the map. You can add a specific pawn type as well with these drop-down menus, right? You can pick all sorts of different, various kind of archetypes. So say, for example, you want to start with an Imperial Citizen as your baseline and work off of that, you can do that. If you want to start with a particular race, or a particular, I think you can maybe put like an ogre, should be on this list somewhere, it's alphabetical. You can pick one of those and throw those into the game. You can do all your customization, but just as an example here, we'll start with a random character. There we are, Zahar Pina. You can change your backstories and everything. You probably know how character editor works, but that will allow you to do that. And then if you want to remove any of my characters, you can simply click on the character and click minus. Grignr will disappear. So if you want a total fresh slate, maybe you want to spawn in a random character, get rid of all of mine and then start like that. Your traits, of course, are, if you want to go for kind of the RPG style traits I've been using, those are called talents. There's me looking at the backstories. Those are called talents. So that will give you all your kind of classes, your basic character building blocks, backstories and everything else, kind of how it goes. The other thing that's important to point out for this, for those who don't know, is the Xenotype editor is over here. That will allow you to create from scratch your own Xenotypes. You can, of course, toggle that to be heritable, which I'd recommend if it's like a race you're building. You might also want to ignore restrictions. If you want just like a single superpowered character to take on the world, that might be something fun to do as an idea as well. Of course, all of this applies to base game Rimworld too. You could say take out the medieval restrictions and do some sort of weird generations playthrough in the same style. Anyway, the important stuff to do for customization, of course, you got your character creation there. But let's say you want to rename some stuff, right? Let's say you want to change some of the faction names, which are things that I kind of threw together. There's some kind of rough logic around it here. You can see I've got nice themes going on, at least in my opinion. If you want to change any of that, you can press this button down here, FC for Faction Customizer. That will show you all of the different factions that there are in the world, landed factions those are. There are some hidden factions too, like insects and in the base game mechanoids. You don't really want to mess with those because they don't really do much, but for these, you can rename any of the landed places. So if we click modify, we can change their name. You can change the icon of those factions. You can change the ideology from this screen. You can make a new one, which will just bring up the ideology menu, which I'm sure you're used to. You can pick an existing one if you've got lots of factions that share the same ideology. So I have quite a few of that. So we've got the trading nations all with the same trade group. We've got these ones who are just a kind of generic paladin crusader style faction. They all worship the same thing, etc, etc, etc. So that's a pretty simple one to do. If you want to change their relations, you can just click the modify screen, click on your faction. So for example, I've got all of the trade groups allied. I've got the light factions allied with these guys, the kind of crusader faction being permanently hostile to everyone, but they're kind of same faction members there. So just kind of weird little politics you can throw together, which is kind of fun. The ideology is the thing that's going to define a lot of stuff, though. That'll affect kind of what they spawn in with, their tech levels in base game Rimworld at least. Shit like that as well. So you got a lot of customization going on. You can rename every single one of these settlements as well, just by clicking the rename too. Now, for placing custom settlements and things like that, you will need a tool called World Edit. That is disabled by default, both when you download the mod and in the mod pack. I've re-disabled it. But to re-enable that, go to Mod Options, go to World Edit 2.0, and you can click Enable. What this will do is this will see, you see these options here. This will add editors to when you press those hotkeys. So the useful stuff that you want to know are things like, say, the settlement editor on F6. So if you go back to the world map here and pick, I don't know, this one, for example. When you hit F6, that'll give you the opportunity to customize any of the existing ones. You can rename it, but you more importantly can change the faction. If you want to add a new one, you click Add New Settlement, pick where you want it to go. So we'll throw it, I don't know, there. Then from that, you pick what faction you want it to be. So I'll make it the Witches Charmed, whoever those are. I think those are a hidden monster faction. And there you go. They sit there. It's called House Waltney because that was the faction it was before you changed it. So you might want to rename that to something different, like Witch Folk or whatever, for example. If you want to remove settlements, you can either do it through that, but honestly, the easier way to do it, crack open dev mode, add to your dev palette, destroy site, and then from the world overlay, you can just use the destroyed site tool to remove and replace whatever you want. You know, if you don't like any of my stuff that I've placed down here, you can just nuke that and build a fresh world. Similarly, roads as well are another option in world edit. Now, I wouldn't recommend messing with this too much. When I say I placed all these roads, it is very, very finicky, because the way Rimworld's roads work is, I presume it's some sort of pathing algorithm, probably A-star or something like that, right? Where you throw down, you pick a point, and the game will dynamically try and path to where you're clicking. It'll try and make the shortest route. So just to give you an idea of that, I think it's F3. There you go. So let's pick our starting base here, and if we want to do like a dirt path over to somewhere else, when we right-click, you see it'll automatically generate to where your target is. So instead of doing that, because that made some pretty unpredictable roads, you see I started there, clicked there, it put it down this road because it is faster using that whatever pathfinding algorithm they've got, and it's worked out that it would be quicker to connect it to there. I didn't want that because I wanted to do some fun little designs for, like, say, the Imperium back here. I did this massive ring road. Of course, it would never do this. It'd be like, why would you connect that to there when it's quicker just to go around here? So to do it all manually, step by step as I did it, you can simply... Oh, and I did another fun thing where I did a little kind of dithering road down towards this more isolated Imperium site. To do that, you pick your road type, you click on your starting tile, and then you individually move it like that, between tile to tile. And that way you can draw whatever shape you want, and that's how I did every single road. Wouldn't recommend it, takes a while, but I made a nice interconnected world. You can see where I made some mistakes here and there, which, again, you can clear it up. The problem with clearing it up is when you delete it, it will leave a gap, because it will have that kind of spur off otherwise, and then you have to draw it all in, which can be a bit finicky. It's a very, very powerful tool when you know how to use it. That's just a little overview. Don't maybe go too nuts with that one, because you probably end up breaking more than you're able to fix until you're used to using it anyway. But that's that. Hopefully that gives you a little idea for the customization you can do in addition to everything else we've got going on. And yeah, I hope you have fun with it. That's the important part. A lot of thought went into this. There's probably a few things I missed with, like, technology and quests, but I think I got all the important stuff. Hopefully it's a bit of a D&D adventure. Fun alternate way to play the game.